Folks, this is Coco and One Love. Today we're talking about the front squat. It's going to be the second exercise in the extension of our strength series. I want to point out that the front squat is a skill transfer exercise for the clean and the jerk, which was the second exercise in our original strength series. The front squat would take the clean from a high power position down through a full squat clean position. The reason why I picked the front squat is because it takes our squatting pattern, we go through our squatting pattern with a front load. Now that closely resembles or mimics activities that we partake in on a day-to-day basis. We normally have something in front of us and we go through a squatting pattern or other types of performance. Okay? So now what I recommend you doing is practicing the front squat with a kettlebell or a dumbbell first before you progress into the barbell. So with a dumbbell, you would just hold the dumbbell like this right in front of you, get set and braced, and then go through your squatting pattern, just like that, okay? Today, we're going to talk about the barbell front squat. So I'll take you over here and we'll get set up and talk about that. Hello. So today, when we're talking about the front squat, it's very important to talk about and reiterate shoulder stability and the proper positioning of the shoulder. So for a nice and strong shoulder position, what we want to focus on is that our hand is outside the shoulder joint. That's going to put the shoulder in an externally rotated position. If the hand is inside the shoulder joint, that ends up being an internally rotated shoulder, and that's a weak and not very stable shoulder position in the front squat or in an overhead press or in the clean, whatever it may be, okay? So, taking that into consideration, whenever you grip the bar, you want to make sure you grip it so when you get under the bar, your hand ends up being outside of your shoulder. So that's about right here for me, okay? Next, what we're going to do is we're going to go through the bracing sequence because we want to have a neutral and organized spine before we load our spine with anything. And this would be the bar in this situation, okay? So I go through the bracing sequence. My abs are on tight. My rib cage is down, and my abdomen is tight. What I want to focus on too is that I'm going to externally rotate my shoulders by screwing my shoulders in or pretending like I'm breaking the bar apart, okay? So I'm breaking the bar just like this. I'm screwing my shoulders. I'm activating that shoulder torque. Now when I get under the bar, I want to make sure that I step right under the bar so that my spine is vertical in the vertical plane right underneath the bar, okay? So I'm going to take a step in, and now my spine is nice and under the bar. I'm in a vertical plane, just like if I were going to be squatting the bar up and down in this plane, okay? And now it's a good position also, good time also to work on getting as much shoulder torque and improving this front rack position as possible before you get loaded. So you're going to try to drive up your elbows as high as possible and keep them parallel with the ground throughout the whole movement, okay? And then now what I'm going to do is I'm going to step up. Now I'm loaded, okay? So my system is loaded. I normally take one step back like this with one leg and then one step back with the other leg. But for demo purposes, I'm going to take more steps back just so you guys can see me go through this movement. Okay? So my feet are pointing straight, of course, as always. My feet are also shoulder width apart. I'm keeping my elbows up high so that my upper arm is parallel with the ground. I'm going to squeeze my abdomen, my glutes and my abdomen and get tight, reorganize that, and then I'm going to screw my feet into the ground like I'm peeling the earth away from my midline or that I'm turning my feet laterally away from my midline. What that's going to do is going to activate my arch, and therefore it's going to activate my hip torque and create more stability and more power through my hip. Now, keeping all this on, I'm going to descend down to the ground. And as I descend, I'm going to push out my knees laterally or externally rotate my hips to create more hip torque. Okay? Here we go. Descend. Hip crease below the knee. And back up. And again. And I want to reiterate that my chin and my eye line is pointing straight. I'm not looking away. I'm not looking down. And also I want to reiterate that as I come back up, I'm also pushing out laterally through my knees to maintain that hip torque and hip power. So I'm not letting that go. Okay, that was the front squat, Coco One Love. Try that out and see how it improves the rest of your performance. Much love, one love, Coco One Love. Do good, like us, love us, and subscribe. Make sure you share us with your friends and everybody else you know. Peace out, baby. Blaze and fire.